We here. Let's get straight to it. I'm right back at you like I never left, and I'm gonna go this hard to my last breath. It's Lil Kenny Russell, Canoon, Consul Moon. You already know what you're gonna give me. Step in this room, you're now dealing with Canoon. Yeah, I'm here. While I'm here, I'm gonna make the information direct and clear because a lot of y'all can't hear. Yeah. Now, welcome back to Make My Ancestors Great Again. This is another episode of My Thoughts. This is My Thoughts 258, and we're still tackling that same LGBTQ and religion. Okay. Now, my whole thing for doing this is people don't listen to God. Okay. And in regards into which they make God say or do what they want them to do. If the words of God that they're pinpointing best benefits them, then those are the words that they will speak. You hear me? If the scripture backs what they're saying, those are the scriptures that they will use. I'm in favor, if you're going to do that, use the entire Bible. Don't say, hey, we in the New Testament now. We don't have to live the Old Testament. No. The Bible is a whole book called the Holy Bible. So that's my point for tackling this. How can you have a LGBTQ or a gay person, and it's no disrespect, I told you guys, I'm not an advocate for LGBTQ, and I'm not against it. I don't care what a human being do, or an adult do with his sexual organ. That's his business, and he has the right, or she has the right to do so. Okay. I'm just letting you understand, for something as simple as sexual appetite and anything that you want, people will ignore God and they don't listen to God. Let's listen to the ancestors when we get into this episode. Okay. Like, share, subscribe, comment, and I thank you for watching.
One thing you have to get through your mind and keep it. Nothing that ever came from the European mind was meant to do anything but facilitate European domination of the world. And I said there's no exception.
Oh, man. People don't understand what Dr. Clark was saying. Nothing that ever came from the European mind was meant to do anything but facilitate European domination of the world. And there's no exception. If the European presented something to the world, it was for his dominance. That's very simple and plain. But if you need to continue to hear it, you're going to hear it here. Okay. Now, I love to see people that's have all these credentials and these degrees and all this. Oh man, he's this and that. A lot of times they be honorary education. A lot of times it's authentic education. But you can have a PhD by your name and still be an idiot. I've been saying this since day one. Common sense will beat any scholar, anytime, any place, anywhere. If you don't have common sense, I don't care how scholarly you've done in academic studies. If you don't have common sense, it doesn't matter. You can be a nuclear physicist if you want to, but if you don't even know how to balance a checkbook, you don't even know how to order a pizza, or you don't know how to make yourself a hamburger, again, you're not that useful. The entirety of your life is not going to be nuclear physics. Okay. So I love to hear people with all these, like I say, credentials and Western academia bestowed this upon them, because that's all it is. If the European gave you that, he gave you that to dominate you with it. You're going to work in this field set. You're going to owe me this much money for me bestowing this upon you. Some people get scholarships, but it's very rare. When you go to school and decide to do something for your choice, it's going to cost you. Okay. So I can talk a whole nother show about that, but let's look at this. This is Lamont Hill, I believe. I've seen him everywhere, but I'm not really interested in nothing that he has going on, so I'm not familiar with them. I've seen him on CNN and all that type of stuff. I don't really watch the news either. And the man he's talking to was Dr. Bennett Carlton Benjamin. Okay. or Benjamin Carlton Bennett, whatever the case may be. It's no disrespect, but I don't remember his name. I just seen this, and I wanted to talk about it. I don't own the video. You can watch this wherever you can find it at in its entirety. This is a short clip, but I want to give my thoughts and opinions on it. If you feel like you want to do something for me, like and subscribe because it won't cost you a fee. This is a fair use act. I do not own it. Let's listen to this.
You can't have a gay pastor. That's not what my tradition says. There are traditions of Black faith traditions, Black Protestant traditions in particular, who would say you can't do that, and that there's some kind of contradiction here. What do you say to those people?
What a lot.
So right here, he's saying this is a gay pastor of African descent, as you can look at him and tell. The man Lamont Hill, the gentleman, said, hey, man, a lot of people say you can't be a gay pastor, not in my Southern traditions, not in my Protestant, whatever. Tradition says you cannot be gay and a pastor. What do you have to say to that? And this man, like I say, is of some stature. He has a doctorate. I don't know if it's honorary. Again, I don't know these two gentlemen, but his name is Dr. Bennett Carlton Jr., something like that. So now let's hear him answer. And he's going to give some, what he believes is a way of a scholarly approach to answer this all type of stuff. And let's hear, because he's a bit confused. But remember, African people, God is the man that speaks for God. So he's handcrafted himself a God that he can accept with his education. See, he has education as well. So he's going to try to swing you over with some silly educational rationale, which, no. If you have common sense, answer the damn question. Don't give me no rationale. Just answer the question to the best of your ability. Don't try to dupe me with your little bit of educational status and think that I'm just going to be a sucker for that, because no, it's not going to do it. Let's listen to this man answer, African people. Hear me?
A lot of people don't know, especially Black people, is that queerness was celebrated in all of our indigenous communities.
He starts right off and take a shot at the whole African community. What most people don't know, especially Black people, well, I'll be damned. So I guess the only educated people to this gay queer man's understanding is of European or other races or ethnic groups. See what I'm saying? This is a shot. This is a shot that he took to all African people, not just heterosexual, all African people, heterosexual and homosexual. What people don't know, especially Black people. Excuse me? Don't do nothing like that, brother. You already disrespecting God, okay? According to the Bible. Leviticus 18:22 says, thou shalt not lie with another man as you will lie with a woman. And if you go to the oldest understandings of it, all it's saying is your essence, your man essence, that when you want to make love to somebody, don't have that same feeling for a man. You cannot be want to suck the man's penis who's trying to teach you about the God of Abraham, if you believe this doctrine to be true, because this would have been for the Israelites and Hebrew people. You hear me? You cannot be trying to suck Abraham's penis and he's trying to teach you about the God of Abraham. It just don't work like that, brother, because you and Abraham wouldn't get anywhere. You wouldn't have an Isaac. You hear me? You wouldn't have any of this type of stuff. See, let's continue.
Well, at least most of our indigenous communities before colonialism came and disrupted queer love.
That's what I forgot to mention. He said queerness and queer love before colonialism was celebrated in all indigenous African communities. And I mean, see, this is, like I say, this is his education talking. He wants you to be overwhelmed with that. Say, wow, this man knows stuff. He lying. Show me one celebrated queer indigenous, what is he talking about? Community anywhere on the planet let alone of African. And in everywhere we went that we're indigenous to, it's only one place, Africa. You had celebrated queers everywhere before colonialism came in. I like to see that. This man is a bold-faced lie, and he knows it. You hear me? So he's not only willing to lie to God, he's willing to get right on television and lie. He know that God said, don't lie with another man as you lie with a woman, because there's no way to procreate. Whether I believe in God or not, I understand that the universe and nature doesn't work that way where two men can continue life. It can't happen. Two women cannot continue life. So I know something's wrong there. But I don't have a God that I have to blame and say, man, God, I wanted to suck that man's penis, but you won't let me. I don't have no, I'm not hard up about nothing like that. He needs to get in the mirror and try to succumb to this, which he has. So he using his educational status and lies, and then he just throw over some old bull crap, and he know most believers will believe that. Show me one indigenous queer movement everywhere that African went before colonialism, pre-colonialism. So he's saying that the Zulus, every where you went, the Malian Empire, the Kush Empire, all the Egyptian empire, anywhere you name, had um, a queer environment, and they were celebrated. I'll be waiting on anybody who can say that this man is telling the truth. Let's continue. He's a flat out liar. Pre-colonialism was what, 1600s, 1600s? If you want to go further than that, what, 1490s? Where are these queer communities that were celebrated? Where are they? You have to be talking about Africa. I don't know of any other. See, when we talk about indigenous, that's where you were born. Indigenous means indigenos. That's what that means. That's where your gene pool start from. Just because you're the first person somewhere doesn't mean you're indigenous to that land. You were just the first person there. Okay. You can probably flirt with the word native. I'm a native here because I've been here. You know, this is all I know. But indigenous means indigenos, where your gene pool come from. And they wouldn't call you an African American, brother, if you wasn't African in nature, if you wasn't an African in ancestry. Let's continue. This man is confused, and he's a 100% liar. But if he's willing to lie to God, it ain't no, ain't no telling what this brother willing to do.
Disrupted our spirituality.
Disrupted a queer spirituality. Wow. That's peculiar, but let's continue.
And so we were born into conditions and in messaging and in scripture that tells us that homosexuality is wrong. And most people also don't know that the word homosexual didn't get entered into the Bible until 1946.
So he wouldn't took his time and said, I'm going to fix them. I'm going to fix these colonial masters who messed up all these queer communities that we had. I'm going to fix them and look up the word homosexuality and see when they put it in my Bible. He looked that up and said 1946. You got to keep looking up, brother. The term queer that you just said, it was a queer community in everywhere pre-colonialism, everywhere the African went and the indigenous communities all across the world, wherever the African was a celebrated queer community. Look up the term queer and see how long they've been using that. The term queer, the way he's using it, it comes from the 20th century. 1980s is when the queer term started being like a term of endearment. Oh, this is my queer friend. And it was no disrespect on it. It came out around the time when the AIDS epidemic was on the rise, roughly the 80s and the 90s. That's it. So he typed in homosexuality been put in the Bible in 1946. You didn't go and say that the queer word wasn't being used. And when they was using the term queer, it wasn't what you're referring to. So how did you find all these queer communities, pre-colonial. How did you find any of this stuff? What research did you use? This man just talking. Let's continue.
And so there were people responsible, mainly white people, white men responsible for shaping what we believe now. There is no evidence, right?
White people is the reason and shaped what they believe now. There's no evidence for the word homosexual being in the Bible. But I never said that. We don't need to use that term. A man shall not be with a man as he'll be with a woman. I just explained it. You cannot want to suck Abraham's penis if Abraham's trying to get you to the God of Abraham. It just won't work. Let's continue. So if he believed that the white man shaped his Bible the way it is, won't you just throw the whole damn thing in the garbage can? That's what I do. When I found out that the white man has told me a lie, I crumbled his white ass up. And anybody else, it can be an African too. I crumbled a African ass up and I throw him in the trash can. You only get the chance to lie to me one time. That's it. And look how he's looking. Like it's just distasteful that the white man will lie to you. Nothing that ever came from the European mind was meant to do anything but facilitate European domination of the world. And there's no exception. Let's continue. He still believes in the white man Bible after the white man put in a homosexual word to demean him. But he'll still take everything else. Say, hey, the white man just put that in there. Everything else the white man left alone. The Council of Trent was in the 1600s. That's when they edited and put out, they put in sin, original sin. They edited words. They put in what's going to be in the canon. They took out books of the Bible. They did this in the Council of Trent. If you don't know that, my gay African brother, then you have some reading to do. The Council of Trent is when they edited all the Bibles. So don't be shocked in 1946 they put homosexual in there. That's no big deal. The Council of Trent is when they edited all kind of stuff. Original sin was put in there at the Council of Trent. The Council of Trent is what kicked other books out. God didn't say this. God didn't say that. Do you think anybody at the Council of Trent was there when this God said, let us make man in our image? Was these people angels and gods at the Council of Trent? No, just other white men, my gay friend. Let's continue.
In the 1960s and even before that, homosexuality was considered a mental illness. So we've come so far based on the ignorance that, humanity operated into light and understanding. And the more we get there, the more we create spaces for both a black man to be gay and to be a pastor.
No. A black man, a white man, a Mexican man, Hispanic man, all these are the same. An Asian man, whatever you want to call it. None of these men can be gay with God. There's no exception. Leviticus 18:22 makes it clear. You don't have to use the word homosexual. Do not lie with mankind as you lie with a woman, with womankind. Simple and plain. And the same for the woman. Do not lie with the woman as you would lie with the man, because it's a lot of wasted time. And the key underlining factors of life, it said it right in the Bible. After he made man, he said, be fruitful and multiply. Can you and your husband, Billy, go out there and create another Little Carlton? No. Can Ellen DeGeneres and her wife, Sydney, go out there and create another small Ellen DeGeneres? No. So that's what you have to understand. It don't matter that they put the term homosexual in there. And you thought that was some old PhD type of philosophy or some game you gave out. That's simplistic philosophy. Again, you can have a PhD by your name and still be a damn fool. And we just seen one here. It's no disrespect to the two brothers right there. I love them, but they're confused. That's my thoughts on the video. It's Lil Kenny Russell, Kanoon, Consul Moon. You already know what you're going to give me. Step in this room. We now dealing with Kanoon. This is what I do, and I love to do it. And before I take back what I said, I add some more to it. My reason for these videos, LGBTQ and religion, is that a person don't give a damn about God when it comes to their sexual appetite. So something as small as that, if I get a hard on and nobody else around but my mechanic, while he's changing my tire, I can, put this hard on to some use. The reason for these videos, if somebody can ignore God for a sexual appetite that I'm sitting back there and my name is Nancy and nobody's around, but my girlfriend who I go to school with named Sydney, me and her go back there and lick and laugh on each other. No, you don't ignore God for something as cheap as a sexual appetite. But if you're willing to do that, you're willing to say, damn God on everything else, like James 2:10 said. If you hold all the laws, but you break one, you're guilty of them all. Like, share, subscribe, comment. I thank you for watching. If you feel like you want to do something for me, like and subscribe because it won't cost you a fee. Education and preparation is the first step to retaliation. So before you pick up a weapon or a silly religion like this, pick up some knowledge. If anybody's offended by anything you heard, I meant every word. Yeah, yeah.